Good afternoon, library friends. It's Miss Tara from the Warrensville Public Library. Thanks so much for stopping on to do a cool science experiment with us today. So today we're going to be making a tornado in a jar. This is a super simple and easy experiment that's really fun for the kids. So before we get started, let's talk about the supplies that you'll need. You will need one ball jar or any type of jar that will have a lid, a funnel. You don't absolutely need a funnel for this project, but it is a little easier when you're pouring the water into the jar, especially if you don't like water all over. You will also need a 1 cup measuring cup and a 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, some dish soap, and some vinegar. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to turn my camera so you can see everything together, just like that. Okay, so we have our ball jar, I have my funnel, I have my 2 measuring spoons. So the first thing that we're actually going to measure out is 3 cups of water. So just to help myself out, I've already pre-measured the 3 cups of water and put it into 2 different glasses. So we're going to pour the water, the 3 cups of water, into our ball jar here. And I am going to use the funnel just because, like I said, it's a little easier that way. So that's 1. And 2. Now if it's a little hard for you to pour it in, you could take 3 different glasses and pour 1 cup of water into each glass and pour it in as well. I just thought the funnel would be helpful. You can see that it spilled out a little bit while I was doing it, and that's okay. Sometimes science is messy. All right, so we've got our water in here. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our cup to the side, and we are going to take our measuring teaspoon, okay? We're first going to measure 1 teaspoon of dish soap and put it into our ball jar. We're going to squeeze that out. Okay. All right, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour it in our jar. Make sure you get all of it out. Also, it is nice to have a paper towel underneath what you're working on, just so it can sop up any messes you may or may not have. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our vinegar here, and we're going to pour our vinegar, 1 teaspoon of vinegar into our teaspoon. I would suggest doing that over the jar. Sometimes this tends to rush out pretty fast. If you get a little extra in there, it's okay, but oh, there it is. Okay, go ahead and pour that in. Vinegar just has the best smell, right? No, it's a little stinky, but it works for this project. Okay, so our next step is we're going to take our lids. So this jar has a first lid and then a second lid that goes on top that you screw on top. So I'm going to go ahead, make sure that this has a very tight seal, okay? That way when you go to shake up your jar, it doesn't get all over the place on you. But maybe you're cool at home and you already have like a lab coat on. Well, then you won't get super messy, right? So, okay, we have our lid on our jar. So let's try, I'm going to just move my camera down so it's a different angle here. I want you to be able to see the reaction as best as possible. So when we go and mix this up, the best thing that will happen is we'll see a quick spurt of a tornado actually in a jar here. Now, I will say that if you do it more than twice, you're going to aggravate the soap and it's going to rub together, its molecules are going to rub together, and it's going to get really foamy and you won't be able to tell what the tornado is doing anymore. So at that point, I would dump it out and restart the experiment. So we're going to put our hand underneath the jar and put our other hand on top, and we're going to mix it, swish it together 5 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when you set it down, you can can see this wonderful tornado that's inside the jar. See, and our soap bubbles have already started coming up. So I think we could try it one more time. Make sure when you're swishing in a big circular motion, because that's how tornadoes work, right? They move in big circles. So that's what we want to do. Just remember, put your hand underneath, other hand on top, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at that. So you can tell inside how the tornado was twisting within the water. And now you can see the more that we've moved the jar, the bigger the soap bubbles are getting. So at this point, this is when I would probably suggest to dump it out and restart. But we successfully completed a very cool tornado in a jar today. I hope that you had a lot of fun with this simple, awesome project. And I look forward to doing other awesome science projects with you soon. Thanks so much. Share with your friends. Bye.